In this video, I'm going to show you how to create discussion groups in Canvas. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to create the groups themselves. So I'm going to show you how to create groups, and then I'll show you how to create a discussion board that is assigned to the groups. Okay, so in order to set up a group, you need to scroll over in your course navigation menu to People. Okay, so this is where you will be able to see all of the students in your class. Of course, your list will be a lot longer than mine. Okay, so right now I want to set up a group set. So I'm going to add plus group set. All right, and I want to call this discussion groups. So this does not need to be where you put group 1, group 2, or anything like that. This is what you need to give. This is where you give a name and create the set of groups. And that way you can have multiple types of groups within your class. You can click here to allow self-sign up. That allows the students to go in and sign up for the group that they want. If you leave it unchecked, then that means that they cannot sign up, and then you will create the groups manually. Okay, so we're going to leave that as is and click Save. Right, then you'll notice that you have an additional tab here. So you have your Everyone tab that is in all of your courses when you click on People. And then I had a group set called Project Groups, and now I have one called Discussion Groups. So I'm going to click on Discussion Groups because now I want to add my students to my groups. And this is the part where you will add group 1, group 2, or whatever you want to name it, each group. So at this point, I want to add my groups. So here you're going to click Add Group. This is where you'll give it the group name. I'm just going to say Group 1. And then I'm going to add another one. Group 2. Now you can put a limit to how many members can be in the group. This is most important when you have students signing up themselves for the group. Okay, I'm just going to create 2 groups at the moment. Now notice over here beside each group name you have a little arrow that drops down. This is where the student names will show up whenever you put them in the groups. Right now it says there are currently no students in this group. Add a student to get started. So you can add a student by clicking and dragging over, or click the plus and then choose from the list which group they go into. Now I just added that student to group 2. So if you drop down, then you can see here that he's been added to that particular group. All right, so you can visit each group's homepage by clicking on the 3 dots over here. And basically when you create a group in Canvas, it's almost like creating a mini Canvas course that is just for the students in that group. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So you click on the 3 little dots. Okay. So then the student is, each group is given this page here where they can have announcements that are just for their group. They can have pages. Then you'll see People, which only has the student 1 in here. And then as the teacher, then you are able to go to each group. And then here's what I want to point out, discussions. So this is where each discussion will show up that is just for this group. Okay, so you can switch between the groups by clicking Switch Group, and then it gives me my groups that I have listed here. All right, so now I'm going to navigate back to my home page. I'm getting out of the group. So what I want to do now is create a group discussion. Now, if you have the same question that you want to ask every student, then you can create that discussion board one time, and then Canvas will give that question to each group, and only that group can respond to it. Let me show you how that works. Okay, so I'm going to click over here in my course navigation to discussions. I'm going to add a discussion. Let's see, I'm just going to call it group discussion just for this. And then here is the body of the discussion. All right. So what I want to do is look at my options down here, and here's where it says this is a group discussion. Check that, and then I need to choose which group set I want this discussion board to go into. So since remember I had the project groups and then I have discussion groups, so I'm going to choose that group set. and then I'm going to save. All right, so then it shows me here, since this is a group discussion, each group has its own conversation for this topic. Here are the ones you have access to. So I have group 1 and group 2. I can click in here, and then I can see within group 1 all of the responses that those students have given. Again, just those students who have been put into group 1. And then the same thing for group 2. You can also access this, the responses, by going back to those groups again. So I'm going to click on people, discussion groups, and then I'll click here, visit group homepage, and then discussions. So then I'll be able to see the responses here if I click. It's much easier, I think, to go through the main discussion on your main page, because then you can choose the groups here.